This morning, Robert Lucas, the head of Chicago's chapter of CORE, and the man who will lead the march on Cicero, came to the Cicero Town Hall to pick up his parade permit. It was issued because town officials felt that the march would take place with or without a permit. But with one, the particulars of the march could be controlled. Although Lucas had claimed that about 1,000, but for some 1,500 white property owners last night, it was a big deal. They packed a hall on Chicago's southwest side to protest against open housing and Martin Luther King and to organize politically.
The problem is not the Negro, but how some of the Negro community lives. The VD rate, the crime rate, the corruption, the dope. If Martin Luther King wanted to do something, why didn't he go into the Negro community, clean up the slums? Work with the people.
The secondary purpose of the march was to hold a prayer service in the lot of a service station, the scene last May where a young Negro was fatally beaten by 4 white youths. It was a noisy prayer service. Power from the marchers. Perhaps 3,000 people along the way heckled the 200 or so marchers.
Back to the jungle, you guys! Back to the jungle! Go, will you?
No, go. They're all black
bastards. Come back!
There were 2,000 National Guardsmen in Cicero, but they did not move into action until the marchers started their return trip to Chicago. When they did, a number of hecklers trying to rush the marchers were injured by bayonets. This youth was one of them. Though slow moving into action, the result of bad communications with local authorities, its commander said, the National Guard moved firmly when it was called in. Perhaps the worst time of the march came at the very end, when police, guardsmen, and sheriff's officers were hard put to keep marchers and taunters apart. Somehow they did, bringing the day's arrest total to 30 and bringing the march to a close at the Chicago line.
Made 11 arrests. When the crowd got too big or too noisy, police broke it up. There were the usual signs in the crowd calling for white power, with swastikas and other assorted hate slogans. Later last night, Dr. Martin Luther King, who had not participated in the march, spoke to a student group at a South Side church.
I read and you read where some astronauts walk in outer space and you can't walk the streets of Cicero. But for fear they don't know it, not only are we going to walk in Cicero, we're going to work in Cicero, and we're going to live there if we want to.